Y'all ready? Here we go.
This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Stick Tamer Bow Silencers. Are you a traditional archery hunter or shooter? Stick Tamer was specifically designed for the recurve shooter. Made of a hybrid foam rubber material, Stick Tamer is designed to deaden string slap and limb vibration. Stick Tamer reduces limb and string noise, water resistant, and lasts shot after shot. Made in the USA from a hybrid foam rubber for durability. To purchase Stick Tamer and for more information, visit 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. Stick Tamer bow silencers are available exclusively at 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com.
All right, guys, welcome to another live podcast, On the Limb podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls. Folks, we're here podcasting live from Real Deal Outdoors, located in Salt Rock, West Virginia, right off of Route 10. They're having their preseason hunter hangout today, so Hog Heaven Barbecue's here, slinging some amazing pulled pork, fire roasted taters, baked beans, and some smoked chicken legs. These guys over here that I'm getting ready to interview, they've already had it, and they said it's amazing, so I haven't had to have none yet. I'm flying solo today. Dan's with his son at the Putnam County, some kind of Putnam County thing going on with his kids. He works out of town a lot, so he's with his son today. But so it's preseason, so I'm hoping everybody's gearing up for the season, hanging tree stands, tending to food plots, scouting your favorite food plots. And, we got some great guests lined up for you. These guys have been making some waves in the IBO world and around West Virginia and the eastern part of the U.S. So we're going to be talking with them here in a little bit. So just to let everybody know, episode 115 with Chef Paul, the Chef Paul Smith 2024 James Beard Award winner for the best chef of Southeast. That episode will be airing tomorrow, and be sure to check that out. Be sure to head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts to check out all of our other great episodes. And don't forget OutdoorProShop.com. You can put in podcast 10, ApparitionSense.com, On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls. You can use podcast 15 at checkout and get discounts on all those great products. So our special guest for today is Mike Pauley, and he's from Webster County, West Virginia, and his father, Mike Pauley. And we also have Danny Hobbs with Tacticam, showcasing some of their new products. So did I say the wrong county?
Just the wrong name.
What'd I say?
Mike Pauley.
Oh, Mike and Mike? Austin and Mike. So anyways, Austin, we'll start out with you first. Without further ado, please welcome with me, Austin Pauley.
Howdy, y'all.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, not too bad.
You pretty excited to be on the show?
Oh, first time. Pretty cool.
First time doing a podcast?
Yeah.
So you guys have, like I said, you guys have been tearing up the circuit there on the IBO. You all done a bunch of different tournaments here in West Virginia and tri-states as well.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into the outdoors and 3D archery shooting.
Outdoors, really, y'all can just give it to Dad. It's really how I got into it. I've been shooting a bow since I've been about 5 years old.
Okay.
Just hanging in around, shooting bows. I mean, I think I've been shooting bow for about 11 years now. So
Nice.
Really just started into competition archery here about 3 years ago?
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, just shooting local shoots, just doing my thing, going to the West Virginia Bow Hunters Association and going to that indoor shoot they have there annually. I shot in the youth division there for a couple years and took home the state championship in that for the 2 years that I was in it. This last year I came in second on it, so in the men's division. So
Okay.
yeah, so
what age groups do they have? Like, when do you start what?
all IBO, whenever you get into the IBO, I think you can start about any age into the Cub division. Cub division's super hard. Then you have that 12-14 division, and I'm shooting in the YMR 15-17 right now. And then whenever you come into that, you go into your BBO, which is like for your beginner bow hunter divisions, and MBO. MBO is more of a quite an advanced class. You got a lot of super good shooters in the MBO class. Probably looking to move into it here in probably a few years. I still got a couple years in this YMR 15-17 class, being my first year in it. So
yeah. So what are some of the things that you win during these? You came in with some nice jewelry there on your belt buckle.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the best belt buckles that I've seen come out of the IBO for a long time.
Well, the belt buckle I have on right now is from our state level competitions.
Okay, ASA?
No, just
state.
Local state shoots.
Really?
Yeah, they have the state Triple Crown here in West Virginia. You have 3 different legs of shoots. I think this year the first leg. Where was the first leg at?
It was at Lumberport, West Virginia.
Lumberport Archery Club.
Okay.
Then second leg was at Huntington Archery Club, and then the third leg was at High Feather Archery in Doddridge County, I believe. Yeah, Doddridge County. Then they add up those total scores through the 3 events to see who comes out on top. So best overall scores through those 3 competitions.
Okay. So you mainly shooting X's?
3D targets, and there's I don't know how many scoring things there is on. There's an 11 ring, a 10 ring. The 11 ring isn't very big at all.
So the 11 ring's about the size of a quarter, isn't it?
They can range from the size to a dime to a softball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just depends on the target.
Okay.
Like you'll have a elk target and it'll be, that big.
Okay.
Then you'll have a lynx or a bobcat and it'll go down to
It'll be really
big.
small.
Oh yeah,
so they switch it up per target. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I thought it actually stayed the same target on each one. It was just in different spots.
Nah. Yeah, all types of different targets, different sized rings. It's quite a challenge.
Oh, yeah, I'd say it is. All right, Dad, you can chime in there anytime you want to. How you doing, sir?
Not too bad.
So me and you first met, and I met all of you guys there at the West Virginia Bowhunter Association banquet that we had there in Days Inn.
Yes.
Back in March. So we were all sitting at the same table, and that was when we was actually awarded the Outdoor Media of the Year award.
Yes.
Here for West Virginia. So that's how we kind of met. And then I was following you guys on Facebook and then up seeing how you guys have been doing in these tournaments. And I was like, man, I got to have them on the podcast because they're like lighting it up on this, 3D trail. So, So tell us a little bit about your journey.
I decided to pick up a recurve there whenever he was shooting in the youth class for the WVBA, and kind of had a little knack for shooting recurve. I hadn't had one in my hands for 20 years. And, everything just kind of came together on it. Won the indoor 3D last year for the WVBA. And I had some guys there locally, Rodney Greathouse and Chris Shortall. They all talked me into, going to competition, and he was going anyway. So I was like, why not? We'll try the trad world and see how it turns out. And ended up having a really great year for a beginner.
So what is trad worlds? Tell us about that.
Traditional, just shooting a recurve off the shelf, no sights.
Okay. All instinctive?
All instinctive shooting, and shot at the state and national levels, and then the world championship as well.
Okay, nice. Man, I bet you that's tough. I know shooting instinctively anytime is tough.
Oh, yeah.
I've kind of always had a knack for it. My first bow, grew up here in southern West Virginia. It didn't have sights, no rest. We bought it at a flea market, and it was just something fun to shoot with, but little did I know I was learning something that would help me out a lot later.
Yeah, for sure. So you started out with recurve.
It was actually a compound.
Oh, it was?
Yes, just didn't have any accessories on it.
So, okay, I got you. Nice. So tell us a little bit about some of the people that you all shoot for. Have you all picked up partners, or have you guys picked up any sponsors, working on any kind of deals or anything, Austin?
The only partner I've hooked up with has been Excel True Ball so far. So that's my only sponsor right now. So.
Well, that came pretty quick, didn't it?
When did that come around? Pipestem or
Franklin?
I think it was pretty early in the year, and then
now that pipestem shoot, that's a nice shoot.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I'm usually always up there camping during that time, and we're watching some of the guys start off there at the front.
Oh yeah, those national level competitions, they really do get big. There's probably 500 people shows up to those first legs of the Triple Crown there, and I mean, it's really just something to be there to watch. And as far as the world championship being there, it's like really just sitting there and all like how many people's like actually there. There's so many different people from different countries.
Yeah.
Like Argentina, India,
Wow.
Spain. I mean, they're all over the place. Korea. I mean,
That's nuts.
people coming over the world just to come shoot a bow. So
Yeah, I think it's great. So, is it kind of like golf to where a bunch of people follows y'all around and watches you all shoot?
you can. I mean,
You have like an entourage that follows you around.
yeah. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes you'll just have 3 or 4 shooters in a group, and then sometimes you'll have other people walking around with you on the course, just watching you shoot.
Just watching, yeah, that's cool. So, tell us some about more of your tournaments that you've done there, Dad.
Started out, like I said, the WVBA tournament, and that was my goal for the year, was to win that tournament. And didn't have a good shoot, but I ended up winning. And after that, it was off to Winter Nationals in Bristol. Then we went to Spring Nationals in Indiana. We went to the first leg of the Triple Crown at Pipestem, second leg at Franklin, Pennsylvania, third leg at Nelsonville, Ohio. And then actually he went to Trad Worlds with me. I bought him a 30-pound recurve, and he came and shot in my world for a day.
Oh yeah,
That was a weekend of fun there, him learning about the trad world and winning a nice plaque.
Yeah.
I did not.
So you brought him and he won.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
He was in the youth division, and he ended up bringing home the first place plaque for the Hunter Challenge course. He posted the highest score over the weekend.
Nice.
And then after we left there, we went to the world competition, of course, which was at Cacapon State Park in Berkeley County. And I did not make the final cut there. I was in 6th place. They take the top 5.
Okay.
So that was actually a blessing kind of in disguise, because I actually got to follow around and watch him shoot. He made the cut for the top 5, and I got to watch some amazing shooting.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty good. You guys get to travel and do this together. That's awesome. So was it Dad that got you into shooting this, or did you get Dad back into the tournaments?
I'd say I got Dad in the shooting 3D.
Okay.
I was really kind of pushing there for a few months, because whenever I first started into this, I was just looking to get into a cheaper bow, just get started in everything, and I did. I shot a lot, and I will be the first to admit I really did suck for a good long time.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody does starting out. You got to get in it and, learn it and just know the tips and tricks and different things to do.
I had a lot of good people come in to help me. Like he said, Rodney Greathouse, Chris Shortall. I mean, they really did come in and help me as far as equipment-wise, getting my shot process. And
Technique.
oh, yeah.
Yep.
And our first tournament that we went to at Winter Nationals there in Bristol, I think the score I shot was 129 points down from par. So it was really interesting. I missed probably 5 or 6 targets. It was bad. And I had a coach come in and coach me, Jeremy Jarrett.
Yep. I know Jeremy. Jeremy's been on the show.
Yep. He came in and helped me with my shot process and really made a big difference in my shooting. And then, what was it? Spring Nationals came around, and I put up 70 or 80 points higher than what I had shot at Winter Nationals. And that's whenever I really started to get things together. Pipestem, shot par, mid-par, shot okay there. And Franklin came around, Pennsylvania. I ended up shooting 16 up with 22 11s. I really lit that one up. And
yeah, that was a good one.
Took home first place on that one.
Nice.
That was really my first competition where I really started to get confidence under my belt and really started shooting well. Nelsonville after that had a solid tournament, got third in that, and then this last competition at the World Championship managed to bring home second place.
Sweet. All right, we're going to take a little break and hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with Austin and Mike. Do you want durable 100% carbon fiber arrows? Warhead Arrow Company. Warhead Arrow Company is 100% carbon fiber constructed hunting arrows with bone-shattering penetration. Durable, tough, yet reliable when it comes to the moment of truth. Their target arrows are world-class in accuracy and precision, an arrow that target archers can depend on to reach the top of their game. Warhead Arrow Company. Check them out today at warheadarrowco.com. That's Warhead Arrow Company. warheadarrowco.com. All right, guys. We had some customers coming in here getting some product. We don't want to interrupt that. Jamie, I think we just sold you a case up here on the wall. Somebody out there did. All right, guys, we're back on the Limb Podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls. We got Austin and Mike. Did I get it right that time? Yes. I got you muted. I'm not used to doing all this myself somewhere else. I can do this in the studio, and it's a little different, but doing it all by myself out somewhere, it's a little different too. So anyways, so you were talking about Jeremy there. Jeremy is one of our first guests on the podcast.
Really?
And he is now the archery coach at a university.
Montevallo University.
Yeah, so is he trying to recruit you?
What
are you in high school or are you almost out?
I'm in high school.
You're in high school?
Going in my junior year.
Oh, okay, so you still got 2 more years.
Yeah.
So he was probably trying to recruit you there a little bit, I'd say.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, we're kind of hoping that he does lean toward Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool. So that I think that's I can't remember what part of Alabama that's in. Do you know?
I think it's like northern central, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
I think, when he'd be out of school on the weekends, maybe have a good place to deer hunt or duck hunt or something
Yeah.
like that
Yeah,
whenever he's not in class.
Well, Jeremy tells me that it's like they actually have their own little lodge down there that they have that's set up for the shooters, and they just go there and they shoot and they hang out and all kinds of stuff. I mean, they take them and do all kinds of outdoor excursions with them. So it's a little different than your normal, college. But with a program like that, I don't know of very many colleges that have programs like that other than WVU. They have the professional archery things, but
He has another coach looking at him at Southern Illinois University, and I talked to him, and it's like, okay, there's some local farms there that, when you're not in class, you can maybe go there getting a tree stand or something.
yeah, I would produce some big bucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, being a West Virginia boy, and our deer are limited in size.
Yeah.
You got to go somewhere like that and just, maybe leave class and go deer hunting
160,
for a while.
170, 180 class bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
So through this journey, what have you learned, and what's been your best experience?
Oh Lord, there's honestly been so many.
Tons.
The sportsmanship that comes with archery. I mean, you really want to see everybody do well. Like, that's honestly one of the biggest things, is wanting to see people succeed.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of people grow throughout the sport just over time, and honestly really start putting out some really good scores and coming from almost to the bottom straight to the top. Mm-hmm. Lord, as far as experiences, this last shoot at the World Championship, being in that last shooting group there, making the top 5, there was actually 6 in the top 5 because there was a tie, but I was in the back 3 group, and then there was a group in front of us with 3 as well. My first target was a cougar. It was stretched out far. It was probably 40, 41 yards. I put 40, 41 yards on it and shot a low 8. I dropped a couple points there on that target, and the boy that I was tied with took the lead on me. And it was definitely something, because, I mean, this was the first time I've ever been in a situation like that, and it was pretty
nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
Second target came around. He smoked the 11, and I shot a high 10 on it. And, I mean, he's just gradually just gaining points on me. And next target comes around. It's a boar, probably 37, 38 yards. I think I was up second on it. The boy that was in front of me came up and almost shot a 5 on it. He shot an 8 line on it high, and I shot an 11 on it and got my points back. And then just slowly we were shooting back and forth. I'd shoot an 11, he'd shoot a 10. He'd shoot an 11, I'd shoot a 10. I mean, it was just back and forth there forever.
Nice.
And we were at target 9. It was a Wolverine, super small target. Shot a low 10 on it. We both shot 10s on it. And whenever we're pulling our arrows, we hear some arrows smack off a rock. And, like, in my class, it's, like, almost unheard of for people to miss a target. But there was a boy in the group in front of me completely missed the target.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're, like, just sitting there in awe, like, because it was, I think, second place. The boy that was in second place just completely whiffed. And it was crazy. And then we're starting to walk down to the target that they're at, and the boy behind him missed it too.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Both
my
of them missed the
goodness.
target. Second and third place, both missed the target. And I mean, they missed. They're out of it.
Wow.
And
So if you miss, you're automatically disqualified, or
well, how
Is it
tight
just-
the points were between the six of us, and especially those top three boys right there, of how tight everything was. If you drop 10 points, which is what a target is, if
Oh,
you
okay, I
drop
got
that
you.
10 points,
you're done.
you're done.
Yeah.
You dropped out of it because, which I mean, you can be 20 points ahead of somebody and miss a target, and you're still 10 points in the lead. But with how close everything was, it was just you couldn't recover those points back, especially on the last target. There was no more targets to shoot.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
So the boy that I'd been shooting against, that was just, we were back and forth. He was up first on this target. And I mean, after seeing those two boys that, I mean, they're both absolutely incredible shots. Both miss. That's like, what am I going to do wrong? There's something here that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, you didn't want to miss.
So the boy that I'm with steps up, judges the target, draws back, lays a great shot on it, shoots a 10 on it. And I think that put him like, what, put him 1 point up on me.
Yes.
I put 1 point up on me. So I had to shoot a 10 or better on this target. It was a coyote. It was a super small coyote, like 40 yards.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, if I didn't hit a 10 or better, I got third place.
Yeah.
So I was competing for the second place spot right there with that shot. I drew back the first time. That was like the most shake I've ever seen in a draw of mine. I drew back. I mean, my arms are just quivering.
Yeah.
I let down. I mean, it was honestly the most nerve-wracking shot I've had all year because that's the most I've had on the line.
Mm-hmm.
I drew back again. My pin would barely even stay on the target. I just prayed to God that the arrow would just go in the middle, and then I released, and it was dead center 11.
Man, nice. So what's your furthest distance shot in a tournament?
The furthest I can get's honestly about 43 yards. My max on my peg is 40, but they say approximately, so they can set it out a shade over 40, so about 42, 43 yards.
That's going to be the max out of all the targets.
Yeah, for my class.
Okay. That's not too bad.
No.
I could probably do 30. I haven't shot 40 in a long time.
It's out there.
Yeah. So, Dad, what's your best experience along this whole ride? Just seeing your son excel in this, and
Yes, just seeing him succeed and actually getting to be there to see that shot that he made on the like I told him, it's a marathon. It's not a short race.
yeah,
So over 50 targets, the first 49 of them, there was no pressure on, but that 50th one, there was a lot riding on that, and he cashed it. He made a great shot.
yep,
As far as the trad world, though, going to trad worlds, that was something very different. The sportsmanship there, the people that was there, you almost forget that you're in a competition. I made it to, there was a competition, it's called Last Man Standing. Mm-hmm. There was, I don't know, I mean, we didn't count the people. There was 150 people entered a field, and there would be an MC call a shot, and you would try to hit that shot. And I went all the way through this. He would say, shoot, just hit the deer on the first shot. Next shot was a little bit harder of a shot. He'd say, keep it in the core. The next shot was shoot a 10 without a line. And the further we went into this, I kept hanging in there, and I was like, wait a minute, there's some people disappearing. And before I know it, there was only two guys standing in the field, and I was one of them.
oh wow,
And the last shot came out. He's like, it had closest to center on the 11. And with a trad bow, was back at 25 yards, and he said closest to center of the 11. And as soon as he cleared and said that the range was hot, I let one fly. I wanted in that target first, and if it was a good shot, I wanted this other guy to feel the pressure.
yeah,
And he did. And he answered the pressure. He was like 3/16 of an inch closer to the center than I was. So I did not win that, but whenever we walked back, he said, Dad, you almost won that. And I was like, no, son, I did. I didn't get the money, but I won.
yeah,
Because I didn't see myself in that position. There's so many good shots out there. And I guess I was just having one of my moments. But the sportsmanship, I shoot with one guy. He's a now 13 or 14-time world champion, Randy Irvine. And this guy is...
I've heard that name.
Yes, he is one of the most humble individuals you'll ever meet. He will help you with anything. Like, I was talking to him one day, and I was like, my arrow is hitting 3 inches to the right no matter what I do. He's like, take a couple twists out of your strings. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? You're going to tell me this? We're competing against each other. He's like, I don't care. He's like, take a couple twists out. I took a couple twists out right down the middle. I'm like, why would he do that? And he is that good of a shot, number one. And number two, he's just that good of an individual. James Cyphers, Randy Irvine. There was just so many people that was, helping me to become better in my first year all the way through. And you just can't say enough thanks for stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, I really appreciate you all coming on, and it's been a pleasure having you. I hate that you all had to wait for the setup there at the beginning, but I'm flying solo today, so I appreciate y'all's patience.
Thank you for having us.
And I hope you guys enjoyed all your gear that you got. Real Deal Outdoors hooked them up with a shirt and a hat, and they've got a Nature's Voice Game Calls, and we'd like to thank Cabela's. They've got the waters here. You guys can drink those waters. They ain't just for show.
It's just a real good decoration.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah. And then they got some fishing lures, and they got some True Timber products. So
Come check them out.
Like, again, I appreciate you all coming on, making the drive down here. And you all missed a tournament for this.
Yes,
so
sir.
I really appreciate it. It's good having you.
Yes.
And we'll talk soon, hopefully.
Hey, great shop. Have
Yep.
everybody come down and check this place out.
Yeah, definitely. We'd like to
check 'em
thank
out, y'all.
Yeah, come check them out down here at Real Deal Outdoors. We'd like to thank Jamie and them. We're getting ready to have another segment here with Danny from Tacticam. But, folks, if you haven't came down here to Real Deal Outdoors and checked it out, they've got a great little shop here. They're having their hunters hangout right now. They have Hog Heaven barbecue outside, and they're doing all kinds of barbecue, baked beans, chicken. They've got all kinds of good food. Hope to try some of that out here in a little bit. But, they've got 3D archery techs here on staff. They've got a ton of archery accessories. Tree stands, they've got bow targets, they've got bow cases, they've got about everything you can think of. They got all your minerals and stuff. So come down and check them out, and after a word from our sponsors, we'll be back with another segment here, live podcast at Real Deal Outdoors in Salt Rock, West Virginia.
This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Stick Tamer Bow Silencers. Are you a traditional archery hunter or shooter? Stick Tamer was specifically designed for the recurve shooter. Made of a hybrid foam rubber material, Stick Tamer is designed to deaden string slap and limb vibration. Stick Tamer reduces limb and string noise, water resistant, and lasts shot after shot. Made in the USA from a hybrid foam rubber for durability. To purchase Stick Tamer and for more information, visit 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. Stick Tamer bow silencers are available exclusively at 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com.